Frank, how are you?
I'm good. My daughter gave birth to her first son a couple of days ago, so I've got another grandson.
Oh, congratulations.
So I'm pleased. Yes, I'm over the moon. That's very important.
They got a name yet?
No, they haven't yet. We're trying to sort him out. They said they might name him after me. I said, you can't call him Wally.
How many is that? How many grandchildren you got now?
9.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've got almost enough for a football team.
Well, it's like the Waltons.
Any future boxers amongst them, do you know?
I don't know. I think there's a couple of Cocker Spaniels, but we'll see. I don't know yet. We will see.
So today went well, but obviously I get the sense you're not that happy with Mr. Clark.
Well, no. I mean, I don't even want to dwell on him because he's not in there, and it's like negative. We start talking about him, and he's not even fighting. Very disappointing. And we see we've got this expense of printing posters and backdrops and everything, and the guy just pulls out. So, and this is a fellow who said before Christmas that he was struggling for money and so forth. Obviously don't want to fight out of him.
That's what I was going to say. He was trying to flog his belt on eBay, wasn't he?
He certainly was. But anyway, whatever he's going to do now, I don't really care. Let him get on with it. That's his business, and we're in the business of promoting winners, and our man's a winner, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, we spent the day with Sam yesterday. Lovely fella, and he looks great. I mean, I think you got a star on your hands there.
I think so. I think he's one of those sort of another guy gone under the radar, and it's our job now to bring him out and present him to the British public and the world boxing fans. And I think they're going to be pleased what they're seeing. His last fight, he boxed really well, very intelligently. I mean, he's got a good boxing brain on him. He's only 14 fights, I think he's had. So he's got a bit of a ways to go yet, but I like him. I think he can fight a bit. So I'm really looking forward to working with him this year.
Is there any sort of set plan mapped out for him? I mean, do you think, would you be happy to see him fight for a world title this year? Or
by the end of the year. I think he'll be in a position where he will. He's a quick learner. I think he will. He won't be far off, that's for sure.
And there's some other good British fighters in that division.
Some great domestic fights. Zelfa Barrett's coming back. Leon Woodstock. It'll be a battle of Leicester. There's quite a few guys out there to we can put in.
Yeah, there's a thing going on between Leon and Sam there. I mean,
sorry, Johnny Garton.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and. Plenty more. We'll come on to them in a minute. But Leon claims he'll fight Sam anytime. Sam says he won't take the fight. I mean, what do you think?
Well, we'll see. Leon's got to get himself back on track. He lost his last one. He's a young man, and he's. Sometimes a defeat can be the making of you, and that's that's the acid test. So we'll see. But I think he's got it in him to come back, and. Hopefully get yourself back in the mix with him.
He's certainly not lacking in confidence.
He's not. Sure. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
And of course, the guy we didn't mention, Archie Sharp.
Sorry, Archie Sharp. Yeah. Archie Sharp. Yeah. He looks very well. He done a job, didn't he, when the other guy's backyard and done what he had to do. So I'm looking forward to, as I say, to seeing him in the mix as well. There's some big fights to be made. Some really good domestic bust-ups which will be great for the fans.
And Anthony Yarde, I heard you speak earlier. I mean, again, looks arguably his toughest test so far. I
think it will be. The guy's very durable. Fight before last, he went the distance with I've not pronounced his name good. The Zognik, is it? Zognik, whatever his name is, who's now the world champion, who fought Adonis Stevenson in that unfortunate fight for Adonis. He went the distance with him, so this is a big acid test for him. We're just going to see what he's made of.
No matter who he fights, though, as soon as his name appears on social media, there's a massive backlash saying, when's he going to fight somebody good? And
he's fighting somebody good. I mean, they keep saying all these things. In the meantime, who are the other guys fighting? If they were fighting someone good, I would get it. But who are they fighting? Go and look at the guys who they're in. I mean, what's his name? Actually, last fight, or the fight before last, he fought somebody Anthony had already beaten. So let them go and get on with their stuff. The Border Control made fights for them, so let them all get on. In the meantime, we got our guy in the number 1 spot, and he comes through this fight. He'll be looking to fight Kovalev and Alvarez, the winner of that one.
Yeah, I mean, do you? I know we spoke last year about this. In your heart of hearts, do you think Anthony will fight for a world title this year?
Yes, I do. I really do. Yeah.
Okay. Just a couple of the other lads. Josh Warrington, I know there's been a bit of talk this week about whether that fight with Kid Galahad may or may not happen.
Well, the IBF have ordered it, and the purse bids was supposed to be today. But we complained to them. They tried to change they did change the split of the purse bids to 65-35, which is not on, from 75-25. So we made a complaint, and they've rescheduled the bids, I think, for the 5th of February, pending their decision on what to do with those splits.
Was that a bit of a disappointment for you? Because I know you and Josh had your eyes on,
It's a good fight, there's no doubt about it, it's a good fight, but it's not the fight what Josh wants. Josh wants, he wants the unification matches. This is a fella, he fought according to, at the time, everyone's saying Selby was the best pound-for-pound British fighter out there. He fought him, took him to school, beat him, done a job in him. He then fought Carl Frampton, underdog in that fight. Great fight, and Carl himself said it's the toughest fight he's had. He speaks volumes of admiration for Josh. He came through that fight. That's where he wants to be. It's just we're getting bogged down with a fight that when we're looking to do bigger and better things.
And with the purse bids, are you confident there's not going to be a problem with that?
We'll find out.
Talking to Carl, any news on that front?
I met with him last week. He's indicated he would like to fight on, and we're looking at some options for him. So there'll be some news on that fairly soon.
That's excellent. I mean, I did think that he might call it a day. He was very upset.
He was upset because he fancied that fight. He thought he had the beat with Josh, and I just think they got their tactics right on the day. Sean, his dad, and Josh got it spot on. They got their tactics right, and really, full credit to them for that, for what they did. But Carl's still got plenty of gas left in the tank, so. He said to me he only wants big fights. He don't want to be having warm-up fights. He wants to go straight in with somebody. So that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, he's a very underrated trainer, Sean, isn't he? He's sort of another one that's gone under the radar, really.
Yeah, I mean, two outstanding trainers this year. And I'm talking about world-level fights. Obviously, Ben Davison done a fantastic job with Tyson, and what Sean's done with Josh. I mean, they're magnificent jobs what they've done. Both of them, fantastic job. And a lot of people with Tyson, he ain't going to come back. He's lost all that weight. It's too soon for him to fight with Wilder. They got their tactics right and done really well. And Sean, they again unfancied fighter, done a great job with it. Got it dead right in every way.
And speaking of Tyson, any news on that? I mean, I know.
No, we're still negotiating at the moment. Still discussing it, and I would think within the next, hopefully within the next 7 to 10 days, we'll have some news.
Where do you think realistically that fight's likely to happen?
Well, if we do a deal, it'll be in the States. If we do a deal, if it goes to purse bids, who knows?
And again, Eddie Hearn's sort of been stirring the pot a little bit there, saying if it goes to purse bids, he'll put in a massive offer to try and get it for the States.
He's always got an opinion and says things about him. If I was him, I'd be more worried about what my fighter's thinking. What happened to that $80 million that I turned down? Why is there an $80 million hole in my bank account? I should have took that fight. How you make up? They can't even make a fight for their own fighter. They don't worry about what we're doing and worry about our fights. I would be spending all my time focusing on what I'm going to do for Anthony Joshua, rather than worry about what we're doing.
And just final question. I mean, there's 3 big fighters in the heavyweight division. Are we going to see them all fighting each other this year?
Well, listen, we made the fight, and we've already done one, haven't we? We made it. We've made our, the 2 biggest and best went out and done it, and they want to get it on again. You've got to take your hat off to them. The number 1 heavyweight, in my opinion, in the world is Tyson Fury. He proved that. He won that fight. Anyway, it was a disappointment that he didn't get the decision, but he'll go back to try and win it, and I believe he's successful. He's the number 1. Anthony. I felt quite sorry for him last time. They were getting booed when he was in the ring. The fans. That's where the fans are.